Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Making comics is hard. Getting people to buy them is even harder, but we're here to help.
Today, Destiny will choose 3 indie comic campaigns for us to look at and review. By the end of the show, we will choose who to give our money to based off of their pitch. Watch to the end and see if you agree. So let's spin that wheel!
There can be only one.
There can be only
back. There can be only one.
one. Ah! That's my angry Smurf. I turned purple. See, that's when you know when a Smurf is angry. They turn purple, or they're choking. It's easily to distinguish the other two. You like my ESPN headphones? These things look huge on my head.
God. Well, I know. Considering how big your head is, that's
right?
a feat in itself.
Shit.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Matt Campbell. I'm the creator of Mythica, a teacher of comics, and this is the comic book showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And we have back with us Smurf. Let's give him his intro.
I just love that music. Ah!
Yeah. Good to have you back.
Did you miss me?
Indeed. And tell our audience where you were last week.
Last week was the Colorado Festival of Horror, our 4th year, huge success. Pam Grier was in rare form. I got to interview her, which was so cathartic. And the woman, and I rarely use this word, icon, just absolute icon. First action heroine, female hero. And just, I mean, and she's local. She's from Colorado, and she has never done a con here. So it was nice to just kind of sit down and have about 45 minutes. So that interview will be coming. Alexandra Esso from Dr. Sleep was just such a gem. She was amazing. She wants to come back next year. And we're like, next year is monsters, but I think we can come up with something for you, because she was just great. That woman's got an Oscar in her future. I swear to God, she is just that clever. Time on the elevator with her, it was great. But Drawn in Blood was great. Karaoke was awesome. Yes, I did sing. The cosplay contest was a hit. So many things. So, yeah.
So, real quick, you slipped that in there. You said next year is monsters. What do you mean like that? Because this is the Colorado Festival of Horror.
That's right.
What do you mean by next year's monsters?
Next year's theme is going to be monsters. We'll be returning for September 12th, 13th, and 14th, the same hotel. And our theme, because this year was Friday the 13th, just because of how it landed, next year's theme is going to be monsters. Whether they be real monsters or monsters inside, there are monsters here.
Smurf letting his inner monster come out.
The inner monsters, yes. So that's going to be our focus for next year. We've already got a couple of potential guests, but I cannot give away just yet. But already working on it. So, and monsters are fun. Whether they're like Slither, with the little the lizard with weird leech thingies, spiders, if you're like Arachnophobia, which is a great film still to this day. But then, you got like your bigger ones, Predator, Aliens, Pumpkinhead, things like that. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
I had the pleasure of going up there and checking the show out myself, and some of the cosplay and costumes were fantastic. You guys had what's the name of the Friday the 13th guys? Jason Voorhees?
There was Vincent DeSentin, who was in Jason Part 6, as well as James, who was the director.
I don't mean the actors. I meant like the character's name is Jason Voorhees.
Yes, right? Jason Voorhees, correct.
And somebody, I don't know if it was somebody that through your campaign or just somebody that was up there, had like this spot on costume, and he basically just stood up there in silence the entire day, like taking pictures and greeting with people, but stayed in character the whole day.
No,
But
he was just an attendee. He just showed up. He came by later because it was great because he went over and hung out with Anderson Farms, the haunt, the corn, Tara and the corn guys. So he's like, dude, we got some film of him trading his machete for an axe, and he was just so much fun, and he never broke character. Even when I was joking with him and trying to get him to crack, nothing. Stone cold. He came by later. He says, "Screw you, Smurf. I was Jason." I'm like, "Oh, dude, you are big." But no, it was great. And that's just one of the attendees. One of the other guys who was dressed as a clown was standing next to one of the dummies, one of the props from Distortions. And he, again, sitting there, just not moving, perfectly still. And until someone just kind of slowly came walking by, and he just just reached down and grabbed him. And I was like, oh, that is awesome. So good. Gotta love horror.
Yeah. It's a fun show. It's like, every time you turn around another corner, there's somebody in a monster outfit and catches you off guard. Lots of great art. It was a fun show. So I'm glad you guys put that show on, man.
Yeah, it's probably the hardest, funnest job I've got right now, putting that together. And I mean, we will be lucky if we take a couple of weeks off, and we're already hard at work for next year. So
nice.
There you go.
Nice. Well, I'm glad I got to check it out this year and see it. So yeah, if you guys are in the Colorado area next year, be sure and check out the Colorado Festival of Horror. This weekend, I'm actually going to check out. There's one in the Springs, the Oddity and Fear Fest.
Oh, the Oddities Expo. Yep.
There's one here on this weekend. There's another Oddity Expo in Denver next weekend.
Yeah, because MiniCon is this weekend, and then IACon is coming up, and then there's the Broadway Parade in the middle of October. So it's just nonstop, at least up until mid-November.
Yeah. So lots of exciting things going on. It's spooky season, time for costumes. We're having fun here in Colorado. But this show is about comics. We're here to help you make your comics. Last week, while you were gone, we talked about some of the things that I learned from my comic campaign. This time around, we had a successful campaign. We hit our goal. We had a couple of stretch goals. But one of the biggest takeaways that I learned was that things have changed a little bit since my last campaign. And people tend to be a little bit more on buying the digital. I looked at the numbers. It was like over 50% of my backers got digital.
And you know what? And I hate to say that that's kind of the trend, but I mean, behind me, you can probably see, I mean, this is just this much of my room. I mean, it goes the rest of the way. Space is at a premium now. So digital kind of is the way. If I like it enough, I'll go buy it. But I never thought I'd be one of those digital flunkies, but damn it, I just want to read everything.
Well, and I get it. I mean, some of the people that are backing me, like you can go and you can see their name and their Kickstarter profile. And I don't know how many it takes to become a super backer, but some of these people were listed as super backers with like 300-400 things that they've backed. And so when you're supporting that many comics, it makes sense that, you're getting digital. And as well, especially for something like my campaign where I'm on issue 9, people want to read the whole thing, but that's 9 books. And so they're like, hey, I'm going to get this in digital format. But to everyone that's watching, that's a creator, again, that's what the show is about. One of the things I had to add after the campaign started was more add-ons and more rewards for those digital backers. I mean, yes, we had like stickers and bookmarks for certain goals, but those things only go to physical backers. So like one of the goals that we hit was that I'm taking all of the line art from the book and the cover, and we're making an artist edition of the book. So no color. And that's going to be available to everyone in PDF format.
That's cool.
Hit hit one of our big stretch goals. So all those digital backers are going to get that as well.
How hard would it be to turn like some of your art into to gifts?
It's not. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we just have to start thinking about more rewards for digital backers. Like, another thing that I did, it's not a GIF, it's just going to be a PDF gallery, but I'd already gotten a lot of people who were backing digital, but one of the backers suggested this, and I was like, hey, that's a great idea. I put together a PDF like of all of the covers for this campaign, including the one that we unlocked with Colleen, and put it in the add-on section for like $3. And so, a lot of those people that were already digital backers came back and added that on, because then they get the book and they get to see all those covers that they wouldn't normally have gotten to see without buying the books. And it was a nice way to just like tack on a little extra support onto the campaign, So
Nice.
To all the creators out there, that was the big lesson I learned, is like really think about adding and getting more value out of your digital backers,
The digital world.
The digital world, yeah.
I should have worn my Tron T-shirt. Oh, son of a bitch! Instead I got Back to the Future, and instead I could have been wearing Tron today. Damn it!
Right. My shirt of the day is supporting the Civil Defense Division and the 13th. I forget where they're located at, but the
Cobra,
Civil Defense
Cobra.
Division. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So today we've got several people, indie creators, who have submitted to the Wheel of Destiny. If you're watching each week on our Facebook page, actionlinestudios.com, you can submit your campaign as long as it's live and as long as it's not a store or something like that to the campaign. We're looking for live campaigns because the show is about looking at what the campaign is telling us as a consumer. So we don't want to store or anything like that. But if your campaign is live, you can post on it, right? So every week we do that. We got some new submissions this week. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Wheel of Destiny.
Let's fucking go!
There can be only one Highlander type situation. Behold, my Wheel of
Destiny!
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Time to spin the wheel.
A little early on that one, but
Oh my God, that was great.
yeah, Ray put that together last week. I wanted to go through the wheel again. So this week we've got Avalon, Tales from Toxic Pond, Evora Lay, A New Breed, I See Monsters, The Edge trade paperback, The Boy and the Bot, The Fall of Man, and The Gallows Man. All right.
All right.
Now we're gonna spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Let's see who Destiny chooses this week. First up, and we got no Emmy today, so thankfully I have all these tabs opened up and ready to go. First one up is Avalon. We'll write that down so we don't forget. Congratulations. You've been chosen by Destiny. We'll take that one off the list. Next up on the Wheel of Destiny, we have... Who's it gonna be? Looks like I See Monsters #1. Is this like I see dead people?
I see dead people.
I see monsters. I saw a lot of monsters last weekend.
You did. What was the best cosplay you saw?
Oh man, that's a tough. I mean, that Jason Voorhees was spot on. Saw a Sailor Moon Pinhead. That was pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Colleen. So I was a little biased on that one. But man, I saw so many. I don't know if I could narrow it down to one. Let's get this last one here. Who will Destiny choose? Looks like The Edge. All right, we have 3 chosen by Destiny. Now we're going to take a look at these and see. Paul Bird says, hello, everyone. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Chris is with us. He says, that's me. I assume that's one of the ones we selected. So I always love it when the creators of these are on the show with us and can catch some of the feedback as we're giving it.
Yes, and I don't want to say that we have helped campaigns get over the hump, but we have contributed to some increase of funding and sponsorships. So
yeah, there's been a couple that definitely seem to jump up once they made a couple of adjustments. So that feels good. It feels good.
I know it means we might be on the right track. Know what we're talking about?
Yeah, we might be doing something good here. All right. Next up, we've got Avalon. Let's see. I like this one for now. All right. Avalon says, follow the dysfunctional Castle family through a nightmarish journey as they search for everlasting safety in a world run by zombies.
How does a zombie run a world?
That's a good point. Maybe overrun would be the better word, but they're
just curious.
They're searching for safety. So, it's a typical zombie Walking Dead kind of story, but it has a family. So we already know that there's going to be some relationships of, and that's always a good emotional connection. There's going to be danger and violence with the world of zombies. So I think that's a pretty good pitch line, to be honest.
I like it.
All right, let's see what the video tells us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon Starocki. I'm the creator and writer of Avalon. Today, we're going to be talking to you about our brand new Kickstarter. Before I start today, I have a friend with me. My friend, his name is Bill. Can you help me find Bill? Where is Bill? He's behind me.
Tell me, Brandon.
You can't hide from us, Bill.
Sure can't. All right, friends. Now it's time to get a little bit serious. I'm Bill Dalton, co-writer of Avalon, and we're here to talk to you about our newest issue.
And can you guess what
I am not watching 3.5 minutes of this.
That's right.
This is 3.5 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Before we get into issue 6 here, let us tell you a little bit about what Avalon is.
No.
Avalon is a post-apocalyptic.
I'm going to give this about 30 more seconds tops.
Journey to everlasting safety.
Now, we don't follow your typical hero's journey that you've seen time and time again. The main protagonist in the story is going to be the Castle family.
Guys, something that we brought into Avalon that's very important to Brandon and I is keeping these characters very real, very raw. Sad part of today's world.
All right, I'm going to hit pause on this one.
Yep.
All right, sir. What did you think so far? Did you get anything out of it? Could you hear it?
I could hear it. Their levels are a little low. Lav mics would have helped, or at least a better shotgun mic. Most likely that was filmed on a cell phone, which is fine.
Right.
You use the tools that you have. However, and I've said this once, maybe twice, a couple of times, don't bury the fucking lead. We have no idea what this issue is about. And I want to hear your story, but hook me with what we've come to see. I wanted to hear all of that, but it needs to come at the end. And it was a little dry. One of the things, 2 things about public speaking. One is smile. You'd be surprised if you're smiling that it helps. It gives you energy and it comes across. And wearing the sunglasses is fine. I do it all the time. In fact, that's my livelihood. But it just comes very flat, very, very flat. And it could be the audio levels again. But yeah, don't bury the lead, please.
Well, I do think you're right about the audio. It's difficult to get audio from a phone if it's more than just a couple feet away from you. So they make like little lapel mics that are like Bluetooth, and they work great. And that could do wonders to get that. But you're right, even without that, like some energy, some excitement about this. As we go back to looking at this campaign, we can see that this is issues 1 to 6, the season 1 finale. So they do have some previous support, I assume, which is what's enabled them to hit their goal. They had a goal of $1,282, very specific number, and they've hit that with 52 backers, and that tells me that they've probably got some return fans, right?
Yep.
But talking about burying the lead, up here we've got Welcome to Avalon. The story's come a long way. Talking about from the beginning, Brandon had this idea back in 2014. So many obstacles. Thank you. So you got like 4 paragraphs of like, previous stuff. We're glad you're here to check out our campaign. Then when they start talking about tiers. Now, so a lot of this information about what this book is about might have been in that video, but I guarantee you most people are not watching that. They're going to tune out pretty quickly. It's tough because people have a short attention span these days. So you got to like rapid fire information very quickly. Says if you like these type of things, so look, Walking Dead, then you'll like this. Now here we go. We're at the 3rd section. Says Avalon's a post-apocalyptic story that has something for everyone. You'll follow the Castle family through this nightmarish world where they must confront a new type of infection. You'll see the family has a dysfunctional past. Some of the members are dealing with anxiety and depression. Others are dealing with health issues.
As one does in the zombie apocalypse.
Yes. This is true. So I'm assuming that this is issue 6 is launched, but they had 5 previous ones. So,
but how far are we into this? We still don't know what issue 6 is about. I mean, we're into the 3rd section. We've already covered what the world is, how they got here, the motivation, the stretch goals, but we still have no idea about the story. And it's great that they have a foundation of fans. God bless them, but do they want more? So we still need to start off with what's this issue about? What are we in for? And I think this is great. I think this is I'm drawn to it, but I still don't know what issue 6 is about.
Yeah, I think I'm almost there because there's a little guideline on the left.
Right.
Let me just jump to it. This is just, here we go. So here we are. Wow, we are way down here. What is issue 6 about?
Yes. What is issue 6 about?
It says, return back to the home of Cliff and Elise. Thanks to their kindness, they have refuged. I'm not sure. I think it's refugeed, but I don't know if that's spelled right.
That's not a word.
Family and friends. With the winter getting worse and spreading of this pandemic expanding, they're not sure how much longer Cliff and Elise's house will have power. With the mobile member of the group, they have to figure out if they're going to stay or find a new secured place. So that's apparently what issue 6 is about. And then these are some shots from issue 6. I like this art. This guy, like an old school, like McFarlane kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hatching and over-exaggerated appendages like fingers and stuff like that. I definitely feel like this person's studied a lot of McFarlane work.
Yep.
But here we are down, at the bottom now talking about, who the people are. And so that was a long ways to go to get information about what this issue is about. And Smurf said it. I'm going to say it again. If you want to get new support on each campaign, you need to treat each campaign as if it's its own standalone issue first, and then say, hey, this is part of an ongoing story, there's more to it, but in this issue you're gonna get this, and get them excited about just that, because a lot of times that's all they're getting, so it better be like their money's worth.
Yep.
And so I think that would be the biggest challenge with this. The art looks fantastic. The
art looks great. See, they should have led with that. This is gold right here. But like you said, it's all the way down at the bottom. Short attention span theater dictates that they're not going to make it that far.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is gorgeous. See?
Yeah. There's some very, very strong art here. And I would definitely be, more curious if some of this stuff had popped up in the video. So and videos are hard. I get it. I mean, you got to work with what you have, but if you've got this art, making a slideshow isn't that hard.
No.
And
even doing like the voiceover underneath all of that art, they could have still done everything like that with a quick open and zombie Bob coming out of the foliage. But I mean, you're skipping the most valuable asset you have, and that's the art. And I mean, I want to know who you are, but I'm here for the story. I'm here for the art. Then I'll find out about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the art is generally like when I ask people, I did a little survey, and also this is something that has changed on Kickstarter since last time I did a campaign. It used to be that you couldn't put survey type questions in the final survey. It was either what's your address, what's your email. That was it. You couldn't be like, what intrigued you about this campaign, stuff like that. And
do a little market research.
Yeah. And now they're apparently allowing that. So I was like asking all kinds of cool questions. And I've already gotten feedback because the surveys have already gone out on my campaign. And a lot of people have said what you suspect. And what you're saying is like, what intrigued you about this? And the two big things were the art. That was the biggest one. The second one was the story. And the third was the beautiful creator. That was the third one. Yeah.
I mean, handsome, ruggedly handsome, maybe, but beautiful. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Someone's going to come sell you something later. Can I interest you in some crypto, you beautiful man, you? You need to make that. I mean, these guys, they've already hit their goal. I'm excited to see that. I'll probably come back and visit this later, but I would have.
Well,
good luck, guys. I would just put it back into order. Mix up the order. It's all there. Just put it in a better order.
Yeah, and like honestly, let me just do a quick scroll through this. I'm just trying to doing a quick scroll through this video, and it's them talking for 3 minutes. There's not really a lot of art there, so that's rough.
It is.
You got to remember, people got short attention spans these days. You got to make it quick.
30 seconds tops.
That's what she said.
Gotta love our producer. He's on
super
it.
Producer Ray. He has.
All right, next up on the list, speaking of keeping things moving, we got I See Monsters. Let's switch over to this tab. This is an Indiegogo campaign. Says first issue number 1. Tagline says, "This is why we can't have nice things."
Nice. I like that. This is how we get ants. That's why we can't have nice things. I like it.
All right. So it looks like they're about a third of the way almost to their goal, 28%, with 22 days left. Now, I will say that sometimes when I've looked at Indiegogo, like the order they have things is messed up, but this looks like they're jumping right into it. So that's good. We got some art. Looks like it's a very heavily like black and white shaded type of thing. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks kind of gruesome. Looks like we got some giant bloody heads going on there.
All right.
So it says, this is the story of Andrea Addie Lee, a former police officer, after a freak event had her eyes open to see monsters in our world. Not just any monsters, mind you. We're not talking about the ones that go bump in the night, but the real monsters. The ones that live in people and bring out our worst when they show themselves. Along with Addie is Keely, an enigmatic young girl in a unicorn costume with the ability to manipulate absurdity to her advantage.
All right, that's pretty good.
I feel like Smurf has that superpower as well.
Just wield it like a tether ball. Just go ahead.
So Keely is part sidekick, part guardian angel, and a constant companion. So follow this duo through this surreal and dark comedy as they discover the origins of monsters and what, if anything, can be done to stop them. So it looks like a fun, interesting premise. So it looks like half horror, half comedy. Let's see.
I like my horror with a little side of comedy. Cuts the tension.
This is talking about the team.
Okay.
So here we got some more art. Book says it's 100% done. So no video. A couple of samples of pages here. A pretty clear description of the characters.
Yeah.
And their abilities. But what we don't have is like the what they're trying to achieve. Looks like they're discovering the origins of monsters and what can be done to stop them. I'm a little confused by that because, and maybe you can help me. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but it says they can see the monsters that live in people and bring out our worst when they show themselves. So I'm assuming that like maybe they're trying to like exorcise these monsters out of people or something. I'm not really sure.
Maybe. I mean, there's that one movie, the Devil's Apprentice. No, Keanu Reeves and De Niro.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I love that. Devil's Advocate, I think.
Devil's Advocate, where Charlize Theron is walking around and she starts seeing people and like the true nature kind of comes out. So I mean, would be kind of jarring, or even like Constantine, where you look up and you see like what's lurking underneath. That could be kind of jolting. So I'm curious if that's how they deal with it, and if there's things that they see that lead them to stopping stuff. I'm kind of hooked with the whole. Okay, what are they doing with this information? How is this knowledge benefiting them and humanity? So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, the premise sounds cool. I feel like to benefit this, we could see either more art. There's only 2 pages, I think I saw. 3 pages, 3 little samples. They're not full pages. They're like, panels. And then the cover. So I think maybe showing some more art. And also I think that like giving us a little reason to care about what's going to happen. So like, what are they trying to achieve, and what's the obstacle that stands in their way? What happens if they, don't exercise or get these monsters out of people? Like,
right?
What happens?
Are there consequences?
Are there consequences? Yeah.
And when I was talking to somebody 2 weeks ago at the All Seas showcase, they were asking like input on the Kickstarter because they can't do a video. And the one thing I recommended to them, and I'm going to recommend here, the character designs at the very end, putting, just like your basic characters design, what to kind of expect, or how, your sketches, which would be kind of cool to kind of bring people in of like, okay, you get familiar with the characters that are involved in the book that have, significance. You don't want to give away any of your reveals, but your main characters, the different designs and looks and stuff like that. It's kind of fun, and it builds that relationship with the bidder.
Yeah, I think that like I said, this has got a good premise. I think that they got a good start. And it's tough when you're starting out as an indie creator, because you have an idea, you have a new book, but you also have maybe not a lot of following. So you got to rely on a good marketing campaign to get it out there.
Right.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we check out the third and final one?
Good luck. Where are they at in their campaign? How far? They're
about 30%, but it says they have 22 days left of a flexible goal. And I think on Indiegogo, that means that even if they don't hit their goal, they'll still get what they got. Plus, it can stay open.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. Our third one is going to be The Edge.
The Edge.
And they do have a video. Jump over that tab. All right. The Edge trade paperback, volume 1 and 2. The Edge issues 5 through 9 collected. The reign of chaos is here. Sides have been chosen, and the war begins. Volume 1 will also be available.
All right.
So this is volume 2. This is a tough thing. I'm going to be doing this soon. Chris, who's the creator of IC Monsters.
First time doing
this, and thanks for the advice. It's tough. You're welcome to message me if you have questions. I'm happy to try and help however I can.
Right.
Because it's
both of us are available.
It's a rough road. It's not easy.
I mean, it's a great first attempt. Even if you could do like a 1-minute video just of some of the flashes of the art, if you could compile that just to get the attention. But the art is great. I think it's a very solid approach. So just ratchet it up a little bit more within, again, the tools that you have available. But I think it's a great thing.
Another thing a video can do for you that can really help. We'll jump back to this real fast. But another thing a video can do for you that can really help is kind of to help set the tone and the mood. So if you just have a couple of slides of artwork and then like you can find some copyright-free music that fits the tone. Is it more eerie or is it a little bit campy? Like help set the tone of like what kind of comic we're expecting. Otherwise, we're sort of just trying to figure that out based on a couple of the sentences that you have or the artwork. So that can help tremendously as well.
Yep. Agreed.
But all right, going back to this, the Edge trade paperback, volume 1, volume 2. They've got a video here. So let's see what the video tells us.
Sir, the Revenant is back.
I have played a puppet far too long. First, you will suffer. Then, you will die.
We have to stop him.
Target in range.
When I give the order, storm the building.
We are in position.
Well. Looks like someone wants to play. No, shut up! No! Let's play. This isn't just a fight. This is war.
Looks like chaos is coming.
All right.
What you think of that?
I liked it. I thought it was like, all right, the video's over, and then we do a Marvel's style like cliffhanger there at the end, like
kind of thing.
I know, like holy shit, that was a great idea. That was a well use of time and energy. I like it, and I want to know who the hell that guy is. Great build up.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff right on point. You had audio that was like, telling stuff, so you didn't have to read stuff. When they did have words, it was simple cinematic style, which was
boom,
great, After Effects style lettering, cinematic style lettering. and it built up the energy and the excitement really well. I really hope that this campaign is getting a lot of views on their video, at least, because somebody put in a lot of effort into it.
No, that was a great production on that. So, I mean, all the characters, I don't know enough about them, and I'm fine with it just simply because how it was all built up. I know I kind of have names, and I'm like, oh. And my only thought was, I wonder which one of these suckers dies. I mean, I was like wondering, okay, who are they going to kill? Because all these characters look cool. Somebody's got to die. So who is it? But I mean, the character design is great. The artwork is very simple. I like it. It kind of borderlines on like Brett Booth's style of artwork. So I'm kind of feeling it. I like it.
Yeah, it was exciting. So what was your takeaway as far as like what kind of comic this is, and like what's the premise? What are you walking away from with like the story?
I mean, as far as the story is concerned, it seems futuristic, and I don't know if it's dimensions that people are jumping from or timelines. So that's a little muddied. But again, you get sucked in with what's going on so much as they explain as they're going. But I don't know what the buy-in is. I don't know the consequences. There's a lot of questions, and if this being a trade, so it's collected, I don't know if these are available in single issues and they're just putting it together, or if it's just one big package. But I'm intrigued enough that I would probably be in on this one. This one seems fun.
Yeah. On the website down below, it says, "New to the Edge, start here." The Edge is a drug that can grant special abilities, yet can lead to death or insanity. You know why I'm struggling to read all of a sudden.
Wow.
Infected by the super steroid, the Edge, Revenant is on a rampage to eliminate Richard Tartabull. Can the strike team placed between them stop Revenant, or will they all spread the infection of the Edge further? All right, so we've got kind of like, what's at stake, what's going on.
Yep, some high stakes. Some buy-in. I mean, that's cool. We know consequences. So
yeah.
I see, this is a perfect layout because the video is enough to get you going, and they followed it up with the premise of what's going on. And I like that this is a jumping on point, and they come right out and say that. So my first question that was in my head immediately answered. So when you're doing this, as you're building your campaign, what would be the first question someone would ask? That's how you follow up. That's textbook marketing right there. That's great.
Yeah, honestly, one of the things that I've learned from watching a lot of YouTube videos on like, how to make your thumbnail and how to make your title and things like that, is figure out your pitch and your campaign before you make the book.
Yep.
Which seems thinking farther ahead, but like, okay, here we've got, a second volume, issues 5 through 9. That probably took a while to make. And in the course of all that time, you could be thinking, all right, how am I going to pitch this book as a standalone to get people intrigued? And they did a great job. But like to everyone, like in your comic, like what's the thing that's going to hook people? That's how I should start with this. And then, kind of build around that,
Yep. What's the buy-in? And I think it's great. I don't even know what I would do differently from the standpoint of execution, video. I mean, audio was good. Again, words were where they needed to be, and they weren't a waste. And it was mostly just listening. So I can't.
Excited, and it was exciting. It was well done. So Jimmy Reyes says, if I could get some feedback. I know you have to clarify, like on what exactly. Are you part of this campaign or the last campaign? Not really sure. So one of the things I'm sitting on right now on their site is it says the Edge Volume 2 trade paperback collecting the Reign of Chaos storyline. Sides have been chosen. The war is the only option. Chaos and his reign are on the attack. Strike team and the new allies that stand between them and domination. This trade paperback collection is issue 5 through 9. So that's your pitch for this particular campaign. Okay.
I mean, I guess the only thing that I'm left with asking now, so now that I have a little minute to think, what are we looking at as far as stretch? Since this is a trade and it's collected stories, where's the incentive to go for more? And
what's
if this
next?
Yeah, what's next? What are we looking at? Are there, since it's a trade, there goes variant covers that would be available. So would it be like art, some pinups? Because if this is a trade, you're gonna be mailing it anyway. So there's gonna be some heft to it. So limited edition prints, something along the lines to get other people. And I don't want to go back to like the character designs that I mentioned for the last review, but that would be kind of cool. So you get familiar with these characters, like old school, Marvel, when Jim Lee was there and he would, do the layouts of, the New Mutants 100, had like this great little thing that gave us a quick little bio on who was coming for X-Factor, X-Force, whatever. But that's what I would kind of start focusing on is what's the hook? How much more can you get? Because how far are they into their campaign?
They are, let me scroll back up. Looks like they have 9 days to go.
Oh, wow.
And they are 87% to goal with 65 backers. So,
okay.
And honestly, that's a little surprising to me because this is 5 through 9, which means just like I just had my issue 9, like that means that they have had a long time to build a following, and $4,000 for a trade paperback sounds like a pretty solid.
That's reasonable. Yeah,
it takes a bit to make something like that, and so like my concern I think would be like, well, how come there aren't more backers at this point? It might be because of what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, which is, are there enough digital rewards? Like if I'm coming in, I got to invest in two books or 9 issues, if you will. I need to make sure that you have this probably in digital so I can read all 9 of them, pretty without breaking the bank,
Right. I mean, even that should be one of the goals. I mean, if you get this, you get the first half in digital format, which is no additional printing costs to you guys, but at least gets the story out there. So it entices people to like, hey, like to Matt's point, I can get the whole story now.
Right. And I'm looking right now, and it looks like they do have volume 2 digital, and then volume 1 and 2 digital. So there's your reward. Now here's the thing. So that's 9 issues essentially for $20. So you're talking a little over $2 an issue. That's not bad, but it might seem like a lot to a new person. So that might be something that's breaking them down. But what they may or may not have, in here, it might be in part of their add-ons, is the ability to get like individual issues. Maybe I just want to get issues, 1 and 2. I want to like check it out before I invest. That should be something that you try to include, let people like dip their toe in a little bit,
Well, and if you buy this, a digital issue 1, I don't think would hurt anybody. And if anything, it would be like, hey, I'm going to get the first issue digitally for, just investing or backing this project. I think that'd be a great hook. Like anyone who backs this, who makes a pledge, gets issue 1 digitally automatically.
Right. So let's see. Yeah, I think that so getting the volume 2, so volume 2 trade paperback is $25. That's not bad.
No, that's absolutely reasonable.
$25. So to get both of them would be $50, right? That might be a little bit much. Plus, you have to remember it's a trade. So like if I click on this trade right now and select a country. United States was always way at the bottom. Thanks, United States. That's another $10. So now you're at $35 for 1 book, $70 for 2. That's a big investment, right? So I definitely think that leaning in on digital rewards at this point could help keep those numbers up, kind of thing.
And I think it would add momentum to it. Like all of a sudden, hey, if you back us, get an issue 1 digitally, a signed print. I mean, it doesn't have to be any bigger than this, or just a little bit more like postcard side. Go with the smaller version versus like a full print. So something specific that wouldn't be a huge financial impact, but would be a huge reward for a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. But all in all, the delivery on this video was solid. I like I said, the only thing I'm leery about is like the the minimum buy-in at this point. If I want to just check it out, I'm a new person, is going to be $10 to get the first book. Not the new one that's coming out, because I definitely want to read the first book. You know? If I want to read this one as well, it's going to cost me $20. So that's I think, going back to what I said at the beginning of the campaign, I think that's why so many people are like going to digital, because like by the time you add shipping and stuff, these books get expensive sometimes. And to be fair, if you're not a comic creator but you're watching the show, the prices of these campaigns are often a little bit inflated, because the whole point is to raise money. So like on my campaign, my books are listed a little bit higher than they're listed when I have them for sale at a show or sale on my website, because we're trying to raise money for a campaign. It's not just like an online store, it's a fundraiser, so we expect that some of these prices are going to be a little bit higher, but yeah, I think that's why having a lot of digital stuff is the way to go. But yeah, fun video. That was a
very
video.
fun. I liked it a lot. Did they ask a question? Did whoever asked the question earlier, did they come back?
It said they wanted to know if they get some feedback on their new campaign layout, but I don't know what campaign layout. And if it's not one of these 3 campaigns we're talking about right now, then I'll have to get back to you at another time. So you could private message me. We could talk about it. But right now, we're only talking about these 3 campaigns.
These 3. That's right. All right.
So exactly. My powers of are be able to answer a question without actually typing. are happy about that. So
too funny. I'm out of coffee.
I'm just about there myself. So we need to decide. We need to decide.
We need to decide.
We need to pick who's it's going to be.
Tough decision. I mean, all 3 are very worthy of backing. It's tough.
It is. Are we going to end up having to spin the wheel, or are we going to choose the same one this week? It's going to be tough.
It's a great question. Huge question. Huge tracts of land.
I got mine written down. Are you already ready?
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's how good I am. I was just like, poof.
All right then. Drum roll, please. There it is. That's mine. Hey, we got the same one this week.
Yay! I did a little artwork there. See, it's the edge.
The edge.
Falling off the edge.
You're so clever. You're so clever.
One funny joke.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone for supporting and following along. Be sure, and if you're watching on YouTube, just subscribe to the page. We're trying to get to 1,000 backers so we can get some ad revenue and get all these great people paid who help make this show possible. If you're not already on there, like I said, subscribe. Also, you can get Mythica books at actionlinestudios.com. And Smurf, where can they get all of your amazing stuff?
You can simply go to 5280geek.com. We have our own podcast available on all podcasting platforms. The Weekend Geek Update or 5280 Geek. You can find it either way. In addition to Facebook, our website, and our Instagram, we try to keep you entertained in all that is geeky.
Right on, right on.
Cheesy smile here.
I'm looking forward to hearing all the stuff that from the podcast about the Colorado Festival of Horror and your Pam Grier interview. It's going to be cool.
There will be some recaps. There will be interviews coming. So yes, all of it to follow. All of it.
Awesome. All right. Congratulations to The Edge. We'll be backing your campaign shortly. And then we also put a thank you onto our congratulations on our website and on our Facebook page, Actionline Studios Facebook page. But thanks for a great show, and we will see you next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. And with that, Smurf, send us.
In the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night. Yeah.